Are you guys happy pigs? Look at you happy pigs.
They're happy because they see this. They know. They love cucumbers. So what we're doing today is I'm going to set up an electric wire inside of their pen to start training them so that we can move them out to the woods pretty soon, and they'll be trained to respect the electric wire. So today we're just going to run a single strand around the inside of their pen so that they start to learn. But I'm going to give them some of these to distract them while I set that up. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to install these fiberglass poles inside of their cage here, and these will go maybe 6 inches inside of the fence. And then we'll put these plastic connectors on. Just pick these up at our feed store. So these will go on like this, and then the wire runs through these. And we're going to have these about, what they say for pigs is about halfway between your ankle and your knee. So that's about where we're going to put it. You kind of want it at their nose level, so as they're rooting around, they hit it because their nose is the wettest part on their body. That's going to give them the best shock. So it won't take them long to learn to stay away from the wire. So we're going to put these on 3 sides of the inside of their cage. We're not going to put it obviously over here where their water and their feeders are, so they can still eat. So it'll be around the other 3 sides, and that will teach them to stay away from it. The nice thing about training animals with electric fence is that, especially just plain electric wire, it's so much cheaper than having to put up permanent fencing everywhere. And it holds them in just as well once they learn to respect it. No. This is why we gave them the cucumbers, but they're all gone. They're relentless. You guys are crazy. That's my toe. Don't bite my toe, dude. All right, we got a couple more minutes. This is the scientific way of measuring how high it goes.
You're being a pest. You're being a pest.
Now it's time to run the actual wire. What I'm going to do is I've attached just a little piece of garden hose here going through the fence. That'll run the wire through there. That'll just insulate it so it doesn't electrify this whole fence. So we're going to get going. We need to do this quickly because the pigs are getting restless. To connect the wire to these little connectors, you just put one part of the wire on the top and one part of the wire on the bottom, and then it just holds it in place. Now if this were going to be a more permanent fixture here, we would put a solid pole at the beginning so we could really pull this tight. But since this is just a temporary thing to teach them on, I'm not going to worry about that today. This will be plenty strong. So on this last post, what we need to do is then wrap the wire around and then wrap it back to itself, because electricity needs to make a loop. So it needs to be wrapped then back to the wire so it can travel, so the electricity can travel in a circle back to the charger. All right, so now it's time to put in the grounding rod. This is a 6 foot grounding rod. I'll get it in as far as I can. And for this short of a fence, it really isn't that big of a deal, but we'll get it in as far as we can. We'll just use a piece of insulated wire to run from the energizer to the grounding rod. So what we're using for our energizer is a 6 volt Herdsman brand energizer. It's made by Parmac. Parmac is a company that's based here in Missouri, and it's actually one of the oldest electric fence companies in the United States. So I like to keep our money local if we can, and it's a great product. I've got another one that we use on one of our gardens, and it does a really good job. We use the other one we use along with our electric netting, and it does a really good job. Now I've had this charger out in the sun for about a week so that it's good and charged up. I think we're ready. We've got the ground rod hooked up, we've got our charger hooked up to our line, we've got our line inside the pen. Now all we need to do is turn it on and wait for one of them to touch it and see what happens.
That scared me.
All right, well that was all 3 of them pretty fast. They got a zap. I don't think they'll probably do it again. They might test it one or two more times just to see. But as long as this is on, I think they're gonna be pretty respectful of it now. I tested this with my fence tester, and it's testing at about 8,000, and really 4,000 to 6,000 is enough. I expected it to be a little high because it's such a short little piece here, so I think it's set. We'll keep them with this on for a week or 2 in here before we start moving them out to the woods, but then there'll be time to get them back so they can start having acorns and all the other good things that are back in the woods. So exciting times. So the day is starting to wind down. I'm going to go in and check on the quail. I was reading an article earlier that said quail really like cucumbers, so I'm going to take them a cucumber. I already gave 2 buckets full of cucumbers to the pigs today. So I think they've had their quota, but we're overrun with cucumbers. We need to find every creative way in the world to use cucumbers. So if the quail like them, awesome. So I just cut it in half. I'm gonna just put it in their cage and leave it overnight and see what they do. Let's go. Well, the guineas have come in on their own apparently already. They're already in here for the evening. I made them a really nice roosting pole in here for them to roost on. But you can see that they prefer to be up on the shelves that holds our, extra equipment. So, whatever. That's where they want to be. At least they're safe and away from the raccoons. Here you go. There you go. Well, that about winds up our chores for today. It's time to go in and have some dinner. We're supposed to be getting some rain. In fact, it's starting to sprinkle just a little bit right now. So, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today on the homestead. The pigs are definitely learning to respect that fence. So, that's good news because that means we can get one step closer to moving them out to the woods. Hey, if this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below before you leave. If you're one of our traditionalists, thank you guys so much. And until next time, thanks for stopping by the homestead. Take care, and God bless.